So one of the biggest things coming out of Washington's OTAs this past week and also headed into this season is the health of superstar right guard Sam Cosmi. As we know, Sam Cosmi unfortunately suffered a torn ACL back in the divisional round of the Detroit Lions Washington Commanders game. However, we got an update on Sam Cosmi just a couple days ago, and he may be back sooner than we think. Let's talk about it.
The way that we live is not for everybody.
Nah, that ain't it, y'all.
How do you think the rest of Jaden Daniels' career is going to go? If we're, 6, 7 games into Jaden Daniels' career, and he's already milking injuries? Like,
Niggas stop saying my name, you dick rhyme, baby. I love the way she move it, shake it on me. When she cry for him, and Shawty is the winner. You can tell that Shawty's love again now, she's confident.
YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here. We have another Washington Commanders video. And in today's video, I'm coming on here with the video where we're going to be talking about an update on our guy, Sam Cosmi, and his health and where is he at to see, a little bit of a timeline. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. Before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel. If you are new, turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload new videos like this to the channel. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers, so that'd be greatly appreciated if you help me reach that goal as soon as possible. Thank you so much. Let's get straight into today's video. So, y'all like the new haircut or what? I've been thinking about it for a long time now, for a little bit, about cutting my hair. And I was like, you know what? Why not let it fly? I'm in my Gotti Tatum era, man. I said, give me the Jason Tatum jump, and we just gonna rock with it, man. I always cut my hair and not cut my hair, stuff like that. Let me know what y'all think about it down in the comment section. But Sam Cosmi, that's a guy that we need this upcoming season. Who are we kidding there? That is a guy that you went into this season knowing at some point he's going to be needed back to this offensive line, and you just can't help yourself but to picture what the offensive line can look like with him. I think with Sam Cosmi in at the offensive line, at right guard, this offensive line has an opportunity to be top 5 in the NFL. Yes, you heard me say that, and I'm not even just being biased Washington Commanders fan. I'm being completely honest with you when I say that. Top 5 offensive line unit. You look at the on paper now, right? On paper now, you bring in Laremy Tunsil. Now, obviously, I know a lot around his name isn't necessarily positive right now because him and Marshawn Lattimore missed voluntary OTAs again. For me, it's not that big of a deal. Once again, it is voluntary. Of course, you would love him to be there, but he wasn't. But you think about what you can get from, and putting him out there left tackle. Who we kidding? He's still one of the best left tackles in football. That's why you go out and you trade for Laremy Tunsil because you want to add and bolster an offensive line that you feel was lacking. Then you go out and draft Josh Connolly Jr., who is going to come in and immediately be your right tackle. So that's the exterior offensive line. And I think with those two guys as your tackles, you're getting a bang for your buck. Now, with Laremy Tunsil, it is interesting because the reason why I'm not stressing, I get it. Someone just commented about it and was like, you gave up draft capital for both Marshawn Lattimore and also a guy like Laremy Tunsil. But the reason why I'm not tripping about if Laremy Tunsil don't work out or not is because we got Josh Connolly Jr. And for me, when we drafted him, that was one of my immediate thoughts was like, okay, Josh Connolly Jr., he's kind of like a safety blanket. Yeah, Laremy Tunsil goes out there and ball. Okay, he can get the contract extension. And for the next 3 years, he'll be a left tackle. Josh Connolly be a right tackle. But if he goes out there and he's pretty mid, not good, all right, you took a chance on a guy. Don't fault you for it because I'd rather you take a chance on a potential guy like that than to sit on your hands and then thrust a rookie left tackle in there. But push come to shove, he doesn't work out, but you still aren't assed out because Josh Connolly Jr. can now play left tackle. Opposed to you not drafting Josh Connolly Jr. and then Laremy Tunsil don't work out. Now you kind of have to go back with Brandon Coleman. Although I felt like Brandon Coleman played well. A lot of you don't, So then you go to the interior, speaking of Brandon Coleman. Brandon Coleman is now potentially your starting left guard. And who knows how good he can be as a guard. Coming out of college last season and we drafted him, they made a whole bunch of noise about him being a guard. He has a smaller like frame, smaller arms, etc. And who knows, maybe he can be the 2025 version of Sam Cosmi. Maybe he can be the 2025 version of Brandon Scherf. We always have a habit of drafting guys at tackle, but then they end up being better guards. So maybe that's the same for Brandon Coleman, and he's your left guard. You remember, you drafted him to be your left tackle, but he's your left guard. Then obviously we got Tyler Biadasz holding down in the middle, and then when you get to right side of the ball, in my opinion, you got a good situation going on. Would you want Sam Cosmi back at full strength as soon as possible? Of course you would. But Andrew Wiley, to me, a lot of y'all have to understand. He played right tackle for most of the season last season, but he was okay. He was much better than where he was when we had Eric Bieniemy. Now you're putting him at right guard, and remember he took a pay cut this offseason to even be here. So he's on the last year's deal. He most likely won't be back here next year, but putting him at guard until Sam Cosmi come back, and then when Sam Cosmi is healthy, whether that's like week 8, week 9, whenever, or even earlier if that's possible, you push him to the bench, and now your first guy coming off the bench is Andrew Wiley. Like, come on, man. That is absolutely insane. And then right tackle, obviously Josh Connolly Jr. That is a top 5 unit when at healthy, and if this investment works out how we believe it can. Even if it doesn't, we have contingency plans in place. We still got Nate Herbig, who knows what he can be. Foster Sorrell still around as well, and a couple other depth pieces that we went out and got this offseason. So I think the offensive line is in a very, very good state and very, very good hands. Of course, we probably going to start the season without Sam Cosmi, but let's actually waste no more time and give you an update on Sam Cosmi. So this is per the Commanders' wire. This is Washington Commanders general manager Adam Peters did not waste no time giving Sam Cosmi the $74 million with $45 million guaranteed contract extension, which is true. He gave Sam Cosmi that money before he even seen him play a snap. I remember him getting that bag last offseason. He says Cosmi started every game at right guard in his 4 NFL seasons. Unfortunately, Cosmi suffered a knee injury in Washington's NFC divisional round, a playoff upset win versus the Detroit Lions in January. Suffering an injury so late into the season meant Cosmi likely would miss at least some time during the 2025 season. I still remember that. His leg bent backwards, man, and it was very unfortunate because as soon as it happened, you knew it was something very, 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 very bad, and it sucks to this day because we couldn't have enjoyed that win. It was kind of like we enjoyed the win, don't get me wrong, but it was kind of like that Jaden Daniels injury versus the Panthers, where it's like, man, we blowing them out, we killing them, but it's like, hey, what's up with Jaden though? Like, what's up? Like, can we get an update on him? We can't really enjoy this because our guy is hurt, and that's kind of how I felt about Sam Cosmi. I'm like, Cosmi, and then shortly after we found out he tore his ACL, so definitely sucked with him having to go through with that, but he's a warrior. And on Wednesday, head coach Dan Quinn spoke to reporters after Washington's OTA practice and offered an update on Cosmi. Sam, quote, Dan Quinn is doing well, doing excellent. Quinn said, like, he has really put in the work. He's hitting all the markers that he's supposed to. We're not going to miss one step along the process, but it starts with him, man. Like, just the everyday intensity that goes with it. There's like a work mindset that comes out of that, and like that importance is because that's who Sam is, and he's off to a really strong start, hitting all his marks he's supposed to be up to right now. So basically, Sam Cosmi thus far is on pace to return. He's on pace to return. Again, we don't know exactly when that is, but you know, in recent past, you've had players that hasn't been up to, you know, the mark that they should be at by now, or they're falling behind, or you know, things like that. But it seems like for Sam Cosmi, he's hitting all the markers. He's putting in the work behind the scenes to get back right, and it seems like he is, if not above the rate that they set. He's right on time. So it says Quinn also continued to say a lot without really saying too much. Here, that's the typical coach speak. But he didn't say Cosmi suffered any setbacks or mention how long Cosmi would be out. It's only been 4 months since Cosmi's injury, so he's nowhere near a full return. However, it sounds like he's on the right path when Quinn said Cosmi is hitting all the markers. How long the ACL tear, you know, recovery process is, and as I thought, it said it pretty much varies on the situation, right? It's not just, oh, it's this and it's that one for everybody. Like, it's 9 months for everybody. It's different based off of how much it's torn. Is it completely torn? Is it torn also with MCL and meniscus tears? What is it? So it seems like up until this point, all we know is Sam Cosmi did suffer just ACL tear. And it says the recovery time for ACL tear depends on the severity of the injury and whether surgery is required. A partial ACL tear may heal without surgery within 3 months, but full recovery may be achieved, and there's a higher risk of re-injury. With surgery, recovery generally takes 9 months or longer. So with him already been, in the 4th month of the recovery process, let's just go May, June, July, August. So September kind of is 5 months, or 4 months at this point. So I would put Sam Cosmi probably mid-October. And if you would have told me Sam Cosmi would have been back by mid-October, I kind of probably would have looked at you a little funny. So it seems like that's just my guess, though. Considering the fact that he's already 4 months in and he's on pace to, hitting all the markers that they've set thus far, I would put him probably like mid-October because, again, 4 months is May. So then 5 months, June, July, August, September, so like October. That's pretty much 9 months. So probably mid-October is where I expect him to come back. Maybe if he isn't ready by mid-October, maybe late October, early November. But regardless of the fact, I think he'll be back at the most crucial time, right? Like the most crucial time when the season is just getting, really fully underway in terms of like there's enough games played, a little bit of guys bruised, battered, and we probably need him, for to replace some other guys, or we just need him due to, him being the better option. And then going down the stretch of the season. See, in years past, right, most of these offensive linemen would be battered, bruised, and tired by the time November, December come around. Sam Cosmi is going to be a little bit energized. So when we get to that gauntlet of a stretch, when we got to play them NFC East games, we could have an advantage along that offensive line, considering the fact Cosmi missed part of the season. But let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section down below. And matter of fact, let me know what you guys think about this whole entire offensive line. I think at its peak and at its healthiest, it could potentially be a top 5 offensive line unit. Leave your thoughts and comments down below. As always, me and boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel. On over to 10,000 subscribers. We really appreciate it. Reach that goal as soon as possible. Thank you so much. You have a blessed one. Stay safe. Be easy out there. Peace.
Never gave a one. Ballin' like I'm D-Sean, throw the bomb, G. That's IG, my jersey never seen a line.